Greetings and salutations, peoples. I have a different kind of game for you today. This is a co-op one versus one. This is a mod that some of the people have put together in FAF. It is not officially a mod yet, but it's something that you can do with a cheat game. There's going to be a lot of cheating messages on the bottom. Let me explain to you how this goes. This is going to be Destiny Potato and Be'lakor controlling one ACU versus Kaiser and V controlling the other ACU together. When you see cheating, if you'll notice, Destiny Potato is actually on the map, so every time Be'lakor issues a command to a unit that Potato owns, it will pop up with a cheating message. Same thing up here. Kaiser is the actual owner of this ACU, but through the cheat menu, V is controlling the functions as well. So both of these players, I believe, are in voice chat together, and it is basically just a coordination of a single entity. So this is a pretty large map. Once you start getting a lot of units everywhere, you're going to have twice as much attention focused on the same amount of units. I have never watched one of these games, but hopefully it will be an interesting one to see. As you can see, having the extra attention to split is being a massive help over here. We're seeing these engineers manually reclaiming every bit of rock and rubble off of this map. That is going to drastically speed up getting the mast. Same thing over here, taking the time to manually reclaim all of these things with the engineers. We are going to see that naval factory is probably, 4 minutes out. And a drop from Kaiser V. You can call him Veezer. A drop from Veezer to the north and south sides. They are going to get an early jump on contesting these. Potato is slightly behind. I'm going to call him Potator. Veezer and Potator. Okay, Potator is dropping the northern side, but there is an early bomber out from Veezer that is going to see these. However, the factory is already up. The damage is done. That is not going to be denied by one bomber, but there is more than one bomber, so we shall see. Many engineers dropped by Potator, as opposed to only one from Veezer. But when you get a factory up, it doesn't really matter. Units immediately coming out for Veezer. Going to try to knock out this expansion ASAP. Aeon having the disadvantage here because when you have tanks right on top of your factories, you're not able to use the Aurora's range as an advantage. So a small handful of tanks will be able to completely lock these factories pretty easily. I am hoping that someone will actually make this mod so that you don't have to use the cheat menu, because that down there, I think, I can tune it out, but that might be annoying for some people. For those of you not familiar with the cheat menu, if you press Alt F2 with cheats turned on, a console pops up, and then you can double click the viewpoint of any player in the game, and it will lock you into their viewpoint, and you can issue orders to their units. So what they've done is they've just deleted their ACU with the cheat menu so that the nuke didn't go up. You just delete the ACU and then swap to your teammate's point of view. Over here, we have the mother of all flare spams. I still don't think it's going to be effective, though. It's going to have the same problem that the Aurora's had. Just not enough health on that unit to stand up. These are doing a really good job on Navy. He is dropping down 3 factories and now is pulling across with a transport full of engineers. He has just about completely secured control of the northern island and is handily contesting the southern one. Again, we can look at the amount of move orders on the map. Some of them are patrols, granted, but when you have 2 people microing one group of units, they're able to split their attention and effectively control more of the map. T2 out for Potator. He is massing up some gunships, trying to get them away from these interceptors that are coming. And the drop is, looks like an Ilsheva and some Arty. But that is immediately going to go down to T2 gunships. It looks like Potator is doing a much better job on the southern portion than they were on the northern. They are... Yes, they do have enough units, it looks like, to wipe this out. And on the northern side, those T2 gunships are coming in very handy. Potator has total air control. I don't see any interceptors from Beezer. Although here comes the wonder of the Seraphim Zui, casually marching across the water to come and rape and pillage the villages of the eastern settlement. On the same note, Auroras are able to casually stroll out into the water and throw down some damage on these frigates. That needs to stay alive. That T2 naval factory is definitely something that does not need to die at this point in the game. That will be a pretty heavy loss, but there are a ton of frigates on the way from Beezer. There is T2 on the island. Blazes out for Potator. Although T3 air from Keezer. This is an unusual map layout. You see T1 mechs everywhere, hardly any tier 2, but still managing to pull 212 eco off of that. Just an enormous amount of mass and so much land area. These strats coming in, trying to knock out some eco. Looks like trying to knock out some build power, but I'm not sure why he was aiming for the T2 air factory on that. That was kind of a bungle. Ilsheva's on the northern island as well. Beezer doing his best to fill these mass extractors back in. The ASF are going to save him. That was a lot of tier 2 gunships, but those ASF are just going to pop them up with no trouble at all. Unfortunately for Potator, there are enough ASF out now that his swift winds are obsolete. So right now we're looking at map advantage to Potator. He is able to push blazes across and is wiping out eco on Beezer's side. Beezer continuing to push strat bombers, although he has now swapped to T2 gunships. They have accidentally hit the upgrade on T3. eco advantage and map control advantage to Potatoer now. Although these cruisers that are coming out for Beezer are going to do a good job of evening that out. He does have a pretty good handle on naval. Yes, there's a couple subs out, but overall the naval control is in the hands of Beezer. He just needs to deal with those so they don't take out any cruisers, and he should be good. T2 gunships trying to kill off these blazes before they come in. It looks like, yes, there are cliff faces and then limited access across the front and sides for hover units. More units going out to the north now, although they have been spotted and these Ilshivas are coming to intercept. The eco is now leveling out. Keyser is back over 300 mass per second with the help of a little reclaim. So the eco game is back on level footing. Tons of new orders slopping up all over the place. I would be interested to look at the APM charts on this game after. This is also a masterful test of coordination between team members, because remember, these two, they're going to have to be on voice chat so you could interfere with each other as easily as you can help each other. And massive movement of hover units and also a small group of restorers for Potatoer. Although I think there are enough ASF to wipe that out pretty effectively. Nope. And air control goes to Potatoer as well. These are the higher ranked players over here, but the Keyser and B are doing an extremely good job of fighting them off. Although slowly but surely we're seeing a progression of purple. This looks like a Barbie matchup. We have Baby Pink and Deep Violet facing off versus each other. One advantage that Beezer does have is they have cruisers out in the water, so that makes it a little bit more difficult for air to get around the map. Although at this point, when you have blazes on two shores, it is going to be a bit difficult to deny regardless of what you have. Restorers moving up northward for Potatoer. Trying to knock out some of this island here. I would have great difficulty playing a map like this. It is far too spread out for my taste. I just don't have focus and the APM to handle something like this. Although, watching this game, you have to remember that there are two players controlling each group, so the apparent APM is deceptively high. Large group of strat bombers out for Beezer. He does have, it looks like 6 of them, and he is going to go for the ACU kill. One shield down, a hit to the power grid, second shield down. There goes, oh, is trying to toggle the shields to intercept some of those bombs, and he was successful. He does have the naming mod, and it has aptly named his ACU Test Your Might, and the test was a failure. These are throwing out the GG, and he is right in the comments to the side. They did an excellent job early on with the expansions and trying to hold down map control. They almost had it completely controlled on both sides, and then the higher ranked players managed to put a stomping down, secure the southern island, gain an eco advantage, and then clinch the map. So well played by both sides. Interesting mod. I will have to try it at some point, but again, that is, you spawn in on a cheating game, delete your ACU, and then swap over to the other person's point of view, so you have two people controlling one ACU. Pretty interesting idea. Thanks for the replay, Potato. Definitely a good game to watch. Thanks for watching, guys.